Greetings, dear friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Following the rhythm of the moon cycle, we come together every new moon to bring our group focus in intentional meditation for the common good. This is our experiment, learning to work together on distance, creating a group field for unanimous simultaneous meditation. As we work with the energies of Cancer, which is in the cardinal cross, we work with the theme of cleaning the house of religion and politics. And in the sign of Cancer, our topic is building a lighted house for the soul of humanity. So let's begin our work. Over to you, Rebecca.
Thank you, Alexander. So we'll focus now our purpose a little bit more closely for this project and our work today. And that purpose is to meditate for the common good, supporting the manifestation of the spiritual plan for our planet through this group meditation. And as we do this, we focus our group intention for the common good. We are conscious of bringing spiritual laws and principles to life, and we are conscious of magnetizing spirit-saturated thought forms of solution for practical action. So we align with the sign of Cancer as we seek to magnetize and energize these thought forms, which will support the masses of humanity to action the intrinsic yearning for spirit we all experience. So as we draw together around this intention, I'll hand over to Tracy, who will lead us as we align through the naming circle. Over to you, Tracy.
Thank you, Rebecca. As we begin our focus today in this new moon meditation, the naming circle unites our hearts across distance as we begin our alignment and bring ourselves fully into our group work. By uniting our hearts in this way, we begin naturally to work telepathically through our group mind. The key to this telepathic work is in the etheric alignment, which creates the group field and allows it to become both a receiving and transmitting agent for higher ideas and energies. I will begin by calling our names into the circle, starting with our organizers and the Action Area group members. As your name is called, please unmute yourself. Say your name and where you are calling in from. For example, Tracy Arbor, calling in from Novi, Michigan, USA. And as we go through this, let us turn our attention to our hearts and the heart center of the group gathered today, as each one of us calls ourselves into this circle. Rebecca Hood.
Hello, everyone. Rebecca calling in from Mapleton on the Sunshine Coast in southeast Queensland, east coast of Australia.
Welcome. Alexander.
Alexander Tymchuk, calling from Kharkiv, Ukraine.
Welcome. Helen.
Hello, Helen Franklin calling in from Hertfordshire in England.
Welcome. Darcy.
Hello, everybody. Darcy Sessions here, calling in from the Washington, D.C. area, USA.
Welcome. Sanjay.
Namaste everyone, Sanjay Sharma calling from near New Delhi, this place called Ghaziabad in India. Welcome.
Welcome. Alice.
Hello, I'm Alice calling from Portugal.
Welcome. Anna.
Hello, I'm Anna from UK. Thank you.
Welcome. Anne.
Hello, this is Ann Creeder from New Jersey, US. Glad to be here.
Welcome. Anetta.
This is Annette from Denmark.
Welcome. Avon.
Avon Madison from San Francisco Bay Area, Eco Bay Area from US.
Welcome. Danielle.
Danielle, please unmute yourself.
Welcome, Danielle. Francis.
Good morning, everyone. It's Frances Gadet from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada.
Welcome. Fred.
Fred, please unmute yourself.
Welcome, Fred. Jillian.
Hello, this is Gillian Douglas from Norfolk on the east coast of UK.
Welcome. Joe.
Greetings, everyone. This is Joe Walls calling in from the Baca Grande in Colorado in the US.
Welcome. Karen.
Hello, everyone. This is Karen Gritska from Portland, Oregon, US.
Welcome. Lynn Gitter.
Hello, everyone. This is Lynn Gitter from Northern New Mexico, US.
Welcome.
Muted.
Lynn Green.
Hi, it's Lynn Green from Columbus, Ohio, US.
Welcome. Martine.
Hello, this is Martine from Belgium.
Welcome. Maya.
Hello, this is Maya Costley from Grass Valley, California, USA.
Welcome. Olga.
Olga, please unmute yourself.
Welcome, Olga. Payal.
Hello, everyone. This is Payal Kakria, dialing in from Sydney, Australia. Very grateful to be with you guys today. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Ruth.
Hi, this is Ruth in Corvallis, Oregon, US. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you, everyone. Now that we are linked together as a group, let us share a few moments in silence to align, forming a triangle between Shambhala, the hierarchy, and humanity. May our efforts be of the highest vibration and selfless service for our purpose. Over to you, Rebecca.
Thank you, Tracy. And as we continue to hold this strong alignment that we've formed, I'll introduce today's action area group who have been working across the past 2 weeks. So at the full moon, we gathered with other meditators to contemplate our topic, and the impressions generated have been held and brooded over by the action area group and other subjective meditators, perhaps some of you as well, during the preparation phase for this new moon work that we're doing today. So this month, our action area group is made up of Sanjay, Tracy, Alexander, Helen, and myself. And today we're going to begin with a mantra from Sanjay, who will explain also the meaning of the mantra that he's going to share with us. So over to you, Sanjay.
Thank you, Rebecca. And Gayatri Mantram, the first condition is that we should sit straight, whether we are sitting on the floor or the bed or in the chair, and only then we recite it. So I am starting, and you can say it with me. Says that Om Bhurvua Swaha Tatsaviturvareniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Parchodayat. Mostly in the beginning of any program, any day, any auspicious work, we chant Gayatri Mantra. So it says, the translation would be, "O Master." I think, Rebecca, you put a different slide here. This is for the Shanti part, which you're going to do in the end.
Yes, thank
But anyway,
you.
I'm going to just translate it. Let me just read it from this. This is a good one. Fine, and the shortest and one of the beautiful. There are many translations that are available, meaning same, depends on the elaboration. But one given by Swami Vivekananda Ji on the top, one of the greatest spiritual leaders that India and the world has produced. It says, the meaning of the Gayatri Mantra is, we meditate on the glory of that being who has produced this universe. May she enlighten our minds. Thank you, dear friends, and welcome again for joining us today. Over to you, Rebecca. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay. And sorry for that slight mix-up with those slides there. So, as we move into our synthesizing statements around building a lighted house for the soul of humanity under Cancer, the Master DK tells us, forget not to find the meaning behind all forms and life experiences, and thereby learn to enter into that world of subjective forces, which is the true world. As we seek the structures of knowledge and the practice and the experiences that will link us as humanity to the wellspring of life that sustains us, let us take time to recognize the importance of matter and its indwelling, animating spirit. And also let us realize the need to unfold through our own effort and seeking the knowledge and faculties that will connect us as humanity with the reality that lies within and behind the form. In our time, despite many forces and thought forms that tend to dull the recognition of the spiritual reality that lies behind the sense world, the hearts of human beings seek for connection with spirit, and there is an urge, a calling to learn to know and enter reality. The development of senses capable of this knowing is an important aspect of the house we need to build, the house that contains and radiates the light. The great natural scientist Goethe said, "Nature conceals God, but not from everyone. The external world everywhere reveals to those who have eyes to see the most mysterious laws by day and by night. In this persistence of the infinitely manifold, we see most clearly the handwriting of God. Spiritual teachings tell us that humanity and our planet Earth are part of living processes of evolution that are progressively unfolding and developing the spiritual being within human and planetary life in all its forms. The embodiment in human form of the Logos, the creative word, the Christ principle, is recognized by many as a radiant marker point in the unfolding of our planetary development and consciousness. This stupendous Christ being invites us to tread the path of the balance between darkness and light, and to recognize the spark of his presence in all that lives, unbound by terminologies or creeds. Let us seek to uncover and grow within ourselves the faculties and sensitivity which will allow us to perceive his presence in all, to recognize his light underlying and permeating the house of matter, and to understand the promise that this light offers to us, humanity.
Building a lighted house for the soul of humanity is part of a process which will lead us into Christ consciousness. As we enter into the Cancer new moon, let us bring our attention to shedding the old, worn out, tattered home humanity has lived in, which has been filled with illusion and glamour, and begin to build our new home of light, whose substance is that of truth and knowledge. In this new home, we have the blending of Eastern and Western cultures, creating a new dynamic, a synergy that generates the inevitability of one people and one place. And in this new paradigm, a key is given to the masses, which opens a door into a world that has been hidden from us for thousands of years. This key is the science of quantum physics, which takes us into the smallest possible discrete unit of any physical property of nature. From the discoveries thus far within this science, we are learning that we are not only connected to each other, but to the fabric of our universe, and that even our observation of something changes its energetic state of being. Be not disturbed by the use of the word science. It is not the cold, heartless intellectual thing so oft depicted. It is in reality the intelligent organization of spiritual energy and of the forces of love, and when effective, will evoke the response of spiritual beings who can again walk openly among men and thus establish a close relation and a constant communication between humanity and the spiritual hierarchy. The development of the science of invocation and evocation as a means and method of approach to divinity will grow out of the ancient habits of prayer as used by the masses and the practice of meditation as developed by the mystics and occultists. Prayer and meditation are the preliminary steps to this emerging science. And what is vaguely called worship is the group effort to establish some form of united approach to the spiritual hierarchy, functioning under the guidance and control of the Christ and related to the highest spiritual center, Shambhala, through its most advanced individuals, just as humanity is related to the hierarchy by its spiritually minded people. The childhood home where the masses of humanity once lived no longer suits its expanding consciousness. Through the field of quantum physics, our exploration takes us beyond the mundane and into the sublime. Today, it is common knowledge in our physical world that the planets revolve around the sun and that there are countless galaxies beyond our Milky Way. But at one time, that was initiate knowledge. Soon the masses will learn that dark matter and dark energy, which together compose 95% of our universe, is really astral matter and mental matter. And that will awaken an even brighter light into the home where the soul of humanity lives.
As the Aquarian energies come upon humanity more and more, and the seventh ray cycle starts its unfoldment, the whole concept of the religion, the world religion, or any religion, changes. So how do we recognize what is the new Aquarian religion? As we look around us, we recognize that more and more people turn away from churches or mosques, becoming progressively atheistic. And at the same time, the sense of the new spirituality emerges. The new sense of uniting values. So maybe we could say that the new world religion is it's a system of shared values. Or maybe we can say that the new world religion is the urge of humans to get to the core of the things, to get to the essence of the meaning behind the outer symbols. Or maybe we can recognize it as a emergent sense of the inner self within each of us. That sense that spiritual traditions call sense of soul. In The Destiny of the Nation, page 151, the emphasis during the past 2,000 years has been on death. It has colored all the teaching of the Orthodox churches. Only one day in the year has been dedicated to thought of the resurrection. The emphasis in the Aquarian age will be on life and freedom from the tomb of matter. And this is the note which will distinguish the new world of religion from all that have preceded it. So if looking around, we recognize and cherish the presence of life, and whatever allows that life to flourish becomes our religion. I'm sure that the hearts and minds of people everywhere in the world will resonate with that. There are several other characteristics that we can see in the emergent world religion, or should we say the shared system of values. One of them is its resonant recognition of certain great ideas based on the group sense of emerging new, like intuitional recognition of new ideas that hundreds and thousands and millions of people around the world start sensing them, and by recognizing them, being motivated in their lives. Recognition of interconnectedness that links everything and everyone through the etheric field. Oneness is the keynote of the new system of values. Recognition of the sacredness of the Mother Earth. Cherishing, protecting, and sensing responsibility for what's around us. recognition that as any life, the contact with the spiritual reality is a dynamic, unfolding process. It's not fixed. It's not preserved in any book. It unfolds through the process of our own evolution and our own recognition. At the beginning of every blue book, there is a statement that I think captures the essence of the new religion. Only what is true through your own consciousness and your experience and consciousness confirms, that should motivate and guide us. If the statements meet with eventual corroboration or are deemed true under the test of the law of correspondences, then that is well and good. But should this not be so, let the student accept what is said. Let not the student accept what is said.
Today, I would like to think about relighting our etheric network of gold and purple pranic light with the white light of the soul. We know the different world in our meditations, where our souls abide in light, love, and the urge to good, what Rebecca referred to as the true world. And also in meditation, we become aware that there are beings there who not only experience these qualities, but are fully conscious at these levels. And we understand that these beings are hearing the invocative cry of humanity and are making their presence and light available to us. The Tibetan tells us how important the work of the new group of world servers is in this respect. He notes how this group is assuming a potent relationship between its own members and also between the ashram, or the place of soul life and consciousness, between the ashram and humanity. The world servers have the task, he says, of protecting humanity in general from the high vibrations of those coming down from the ashram to externalize on earth. As servers, we do this by stepping down these fine vibrations so they do not damage the undeveloped etheric bodies of awakening humans. We need to act as transformers so the increasing soul light is made safely usable in the etheric web for humanity in general. We can imagine what effect this influx of light and love will have, and does have already, on people as they begin to see the illumined web of life and the interconnectedness of all creation, the cosmos, solar system, our planet, the minerals, plants, animals, and humans. I think this is what Alexander was referring to in speaking of the New World religion. The Tibetan also says how, for those who are already awake, the ashramic contact is stimulating and magnetizing, and the new group of world servers help such people to absorb with profit the radiation of the hierarchy. How are we helping such people, including, I think, ourselves, to build their lighted houses for themselves and for humanity as a whole? And here in the answer I was proposing, it relates to what Tracy was saying. We can help make the etheric known by linking it with quantum science. It also seems that the etheric needs to be cleansed of all the dross it has accumulated over many lifetimes in the three worlds, so that it clearly reflects the light of the soul as a living synthesis. We can do this starting with healing ourselves and at the same time help build the synthesis between hierarchy and humanity. When speaking of the link between the etheric and humanity, the Tibetan refers to yet another group. For those who are asleep, the hierarchical radiation concretizes their etherics, so they are protected. I do not fully understand this, but there are many folk tales of petrification for those who are selfish and greedy and do not consider others as they set out to fulfill their life's tasks. Fairy tales hold much esoteric truth. And also we can see that many members of humanity are indeed petrified by the changing world around them. So let us look to easing fear in all our conversations and correspondence, and help in the fusing of our two light bodies, the soul and the etheric. Radiance we are, and power. We stand forever with our hands stretched out, linking the heavens and the earth, the inner world of meaning and the subtle world of glamour. We reach into the light and bring it down to meet the need. We reach into the silent place and bring from there the gift of understanding. Thus, with the light we work and turn the darkness into day.
meditation. Building the lighted house for the soul of humanity. We focus our group intention on the common good. Aligning with the triangle Shambhala, hierarchy, humanity. We align with energy of Cancer. Through Cancer, we work with the third ray and the seventh ray triangles, bringing spirit to matter through skillful action. We bring our focus to the group heart, visualizing it as a group chalice. We use the power of the group intention to magnetize the thought forms that would inspire and lead humanity, manifesting the divine plan. Rebecca.
We seek the light of the living spirit in all through the mediating principle of the Christ.
Tracy.
Through knowledge, the truth shall be known to the masses, and the light of humanity's soul will radiate in oneness.
The emphasis in the Aquarian age will be on life and freedom from tome of matter. Helen.
Light is coming. What is our task in focusing its radiance for the common good?
We gather magnetized thought forms in the group chalice, and we lift the chalice up to the light of Cancer. Empowering and magnetizing with the light supernal. Building the lighted house of the soul of humanity. And with the silent Om, we release the thought forms, visualizing the brilliant radiance that penetrates into the hearts and minds of people everywhere. And we empower the visualization of radiance by sounding the great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God. Let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center, which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth.
Thank you, everyone. We'd like to now open a space for sharing our thoughts and impressions of this meditation. And we'd also like to invite everyone to visit our community impressions board that Alexander will put the link to in the chat box, so that you can, throughout this period of time of the Cancer new moon, share with us and with the group the impressions that you receive or thoughts. So over to you, Alexander, to open up the sharing.
Thank you, Tracy. So this is our time to share or be together in silence as the impressions come. If you would like to share, please unmute yourself, or if you're muted by organizer, just raise your hand and we will unmute you.
I enjoyed very much hearing everyone's ideas and all the deep thought that went into it. It made me think, though, of more sort of a ground up perspective. I think we all agree that what is required for the new world religion and the new world we're building has been stated. It's that people awaken to their souls, awaken to their higher selves. And I can't help but thinking, in order to do that, one of the major problems that many people have is a great deal of fear. I think one of you also said something about that. And often, in the case of many people, I think it's fear of lack, fear of not having what they need to survive. So I think in order to build these lighted houses, for people have to have the space and time and lack of fear to actually look into themselves and examine their lives. So I picture, I have a vision of everyone thriving, all people thriving in right balance. And a right balance in the material plane requires, I believe, a great deal of cooperation. We see that cooperation all around us in nature. There have been articles lately about forests, how they cooperate with one another in order for all to thrive. So I think I'm going to be focusing a lot on the word cooperation in my meditation for a while. Cooperation not only with one another, but with nature itself and the devas. And hopefully by helping all people and all life to thrive, it will open the door to the space for more spirituality in people and more aspiration for higher energies to be included in their lives. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Lynn. There is a note from Joe who wrote, apologies for having to leave now, very powerful and much to ponder. Eliciting as a first impress from the beautifully constructed meditative process, a perfect point from which to launch into a high expression of alignment with the New World religion and practical steps to consider. Love to you all.
It's Rebecca. I just wanted to um, say about what Lynn was speaking about, or my understanding of it, and the need for people to experience circumstances of more security and time and sense of connection and safety within community, to allow connection with spirit. And there's a few different thoughts that come up in relation to that, especially this thought about fear, which is really present in our world at the moment, and relating to strongly, I think, to what Helen said about this hardening that happens around us when we're in a state of fear, and the need for substantial support, but also energetic and support for people who are in that place, to be able to move and to connect with what is vitalizing and what will melt the fear. And I guess as we contemplate cooperation, we can just contemplate how helpful it can be to just smile at people that we see in the street. And here we've got mask wearing instituted fairly heavily at the moment, and to be able to communicate through the light in the eyes with each other, to keep that spirit alive, seems really important. And the other thought that came in response to those things is the idea that, we have, I'm not sure if everyone's familiar with the idea of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where we need, the basic needs to be met, and then we can think about, spiritual needs and cultural needs and everything. And I think there's some evidence that also contradicts that in human history, that under situations of great duress, the human spirit can connect very strongly with spirit. And that's not promoting the idea that we shouldn't be taking care of the physical and emotional well-being of everyone, but it's just to say that we can place faith in human ability to connect very deeply with great things, even under incredible duress. And sometimes that tempering is what can bring out a very deep and high connection.
I think it's on the first pages of the Letters on the Occult Meditation that Tibetan master says that great humanitarian crises can be one of the factors that push humanity towards the recognition of the soul. And as we reflect and meditate on building the lighted house, we can see that the beneficent opportunity of the current crisis and any crisis that we collectively as humans experience, it's those crises, they push us towards on the evolutionary path to recognition of the soul. If anyone would like to share impressions, please, before we come to the closing.
I just think that the more people that set an example of listening to their soul and acting accordingly, the more the people will lose their fear and start cooperating. Because a lot of people, I think, are actually ready for the move into the new age, but as we've been saying, there's a lot of fear about, but they'll be sort of bolder if they see a lot of other people showing that it's okay.
I wanted to say that in this regard, the education about this science of light is important. This light in substance, light in mind, and light in soul, and also that developing the positive attitude also should be together with the light, and positive attitude should be part of a new education, so the people could really take it as an education to be positively focused and to increase this light within themselves. And that will change their attitude towards each other and towards their goals. It's not only the practical, but it's also inner work has to be educated in. and then finding the Christ within eventually. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Lynn had her hand raised, but I'm not. Are you still there, Lynn? Would you like to speak, or shall? She's posted a note in the chat, so or in the questions. So she just. I still see your name, Lynn. So if you've got time to say anything, please unmute yourself.
I wasn't sure which Lynn you meant.
Oh, sorry.
No, I totally agree with you that that's the other side of humanity, is that we sometimes come to great realizations in trying times, and are pushed through crisis to learn. It's as in the notes, and I'm not saying this very well, but I once heard that devas, the nature spirits, are always in alignment with the divine will, but humanity learns through pain, and through our own self-will and so forth. So anyway, that's it for me. But thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you, Lynn.
I very resonate with Julian said. I think it's, in a way, it's time for us to come out of the spiritual closet and start being the light bearers and not have fear about that. And that will trigger the lighted houses opening up around us and further around the world.
There are spiritual values to live by that will inspire the conscience and the consciousness of those who serve to create a better way of life. A love of truth, essential for a just, inclusive, and progressive society. A sense of justice, recognition of the rights and needs of all. A spirit of cooperation based on active goodwill and the principle of right human relationships. A sense of personal responsibility for group, community, and national affairs. Serving the common good through the sacrifice of selfishness. Only what is good for all is good for each one. We can see that humanity in the world crisis of today is basically a spiritual testing the character and intention of all men and women. This provides us an opportunity to reappraise the values we accept as personal standards of behavior, and to assist the fate of all peoples and nations determined by values which govern their decisions. The values of right living, spiritual living, creating the lighted house of humanity and our beautiful planet.
Gratitude to everyone for your focused intention and sharing. And I invite now Sanjay to close this part of our gathering with the mantra that's shown already by mistake earlier. Now it's on the screen again.
Thank you, Alexander, and all friends here, all brothers and sisters. So here I go. The Shanti part is normally recited towards the end of a program, and this is to bring peace to the troubled tone world, and in fact peace to the whole universe and Brahma. So let me just recite the Sanskrit portions of this, and then I'll put the translation before you for the understanding of all of us. Thank you for your kind attention. Let's sit straight with our spine straight. Thank you. So here I go. Om Dyom Shantriksham Shanti Prithvi Shanti Rape Shanti Roshadhai Shanti Vanaspatai Shanti Shanti Vishwe Deva Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvam Shanti Shanti Reva Shanti Sama Shanti Redhi Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. The word Shanti that we hear means peace, and here the English translation goes, friends. It says, may peace radiate there in the whole sky. Dyom. Dyom means sky. Dyom. And then it says Shantriksha, Shanti Rantriksham. That means whole sky as well as in the vast ethereal space. And it says Prithvi Shanti Rape Shanti Rodshaya Shanti. It says may peace reign all over this earth and water and in all herbs, trees and creepers. And continues, may peace flow over the whole universe. May peace be in the supreme being Brahma, and may there always exist in all peace and peace alone. Om, peace, peace, and peace to us and all beings and all entities. Thank you. Back to you, Alexander.
Thank you, Sanjay. We invite, for those of you who have some extra time, if you stay a little bit longer, as we use our time together after our new moon gatherings to focus and generate ideas for possible topic for our meditation in the next cycle. We invite you to stay. So this segment of our program, we bring our group focus to the next month. And as we mentioned at the beginning, each month we focus on one of 3 themes that are part of our ongoing reflection, that are themes or areas of focus prerequisite for reappearance of the Christ. And so in the cycle of fixed cross, which will be next month, in the cycle of Leo, we bring to the need to implement the principle of sharing in world economy. And so let's bring our group focus to the cycle of Leo, invoking the energy of Leo, and reflect for a minute on what could be a topic for our group meditation under the energies of Leo.
I'm just thinking, it's Rebecca. I'm just wondering if something that might be worth thinking about is focusing on what are the factors that allow us to share or support us to share the best. What are the things that help us to share well?
Continue this note of sharing on individual level. Another topic that's be for us for reflection is how we individually share our not just monetary resources or economic resources, but our time and our energy. So how we share our life resources.
The ideas of oneness of humanity should help this, where everybody have one source. We're all brothers, even we don't recognize it. And these ideas of our unity, spiritual and on the soul level, should be more emphasized. And also, when the soul awareness develops, the joy of the soul confirms this sharing principle. It's respond positively. People recognize it as well. So this new education should be about this oneness, energetically and spiritually. It will help to recognize this intuition of the souls. Thank you.
I don't know how specific the theme goes, but over here at the moment, asylum seekers and migrants are not being allowed to share in what others have and they don't have, and there's a lot of hatred towards them, and the main comments seem to be that the people here are saying we haven't got enough to share with everybody else, so we want what we've got, but we don't want to let anyone else have any. So I don't know whether they can be incorporated into the theme.
The flow of etheric energy seems to come into a lot of our themes, and the movement of people across the globe is also an energy flowing. And I think we put a lot of blocks on that energy too, that just doesn't help the overall energy of the planet. So I think your idea, Gillian, is very, very relevant.
I believe I just read in the paper last week that President Biden, in dealing with the border issues in the U.S., has started a program, has his people starting a program that actually helps the countries that the people are coming from to, some of them at least, where he can, to develop their own resources in a positive way, not in a way that benefits only us, but in a way that benefits the actual countries of origin, to strengthen, to better the lives of the people there and to strengthen their economies, so that people will not feel forced to flee to have some sort of decent life, which seems to me philosophically to be a wonderful approach, that actually takes into account people who need and people who don't want to give up. And hopefully it would be something that everybody could be on board with. I know that's idealistic to think that, but that's my hope and my intention, and my thoughts are going to go in that direction a lot. I'm not going to stop being open to all sorts of ideas and meditation on the higher levels for best possible outcomes. But I thought this was a great approach, at least another step that seemed to be in the right direction.
Yes, I agree with that as well. If people can stay in their own country, often they'd rather do that. As long as we just bear in mind that some of them are fleeing persecution in their own country. So yes, the work really needs to be done in the country they're fleeing from, I suppose.
So let us hold our group chalice open for the ideas to come, and let's share them further when our time now coming to the end. These ideas that we just shared now, we will hold in the group chalice, and in a week or so, subjective support group, the custodians of the purpose will come together and continue reflection, and we'll decide on the topic for the next month. And if you would be interested to join this meeting, please let us know, and we will invite you to join that meeting. So that's when we will decide the topic to be focused through the cycle of Leo. Thank you, friends. Rebecca, do we have anything special to end our time together?
I thought that was Sanjay's special thing today. So
Maybe that
if
was
I'm,
enough. Maybe that's, yeah.
yeah. Perhaps our old faithful connection with a remembrance of Dot, who contributed a lot to the SDG project, and in line with the mantra about Shanti, may the spirit of peace be spread abroad in our hearts, in our groups, and throughout the world.